Camilla wore Diana's jewels. She wore the Queen's jewels. One by one, they are being taken back. Number 11, William made one phone call. She never wore it again. The vault access is shrinking. Pieces she wore last year are behind a different door. Royal jewels belong to the crown, not the consort. The next king decides who wears them. Diana's ring is on Catherine's finger. That was William's first move. It will not be his last. Every tiara Camilla pinned to herself is on a list. That list has a new owner coming. Diana's son is about to empty Camilla's jewel box, piece by piece. These are 15 royal jewels Camilla will never be allowed to wear again. The reason is already in William's office. Let us start with the crown. Number 1, Queen Mary's crown. Built in 1911 for Queen Mary, not used at a coronation for over a century. Camilla took it out on May 6, 2023, had it modified, wore it for 90 minutes and handed it back. 4 of the 8 detachable arches removed. The original Koh-i-Noor had been moved to the Queen Mother's crown in 1937 and replaced with Cullinan 5. For the coronation, Camilla had Cullinan 3 and 4 added alongside it. She did all of this knowing she would wear it exactly one time. In January 2025, Buckingham Palace quietly renamed the piece Queen Camilla's Crown on the Royal Collection Trust website. The problem is this: names can be changed back. When William is king, a single directive restores the original. The Cullinans come out. The 8 arches return. Catherine will wear it next, not Camilla's version, the original. And think about this. Diana never wore a coronation crown. She died before Charles became king. Camilla wore the crown Diana was supposed to wear one wear. 112 years since Queen Mary. One quiet erasure coming, and the stone Camilla did not dare wear is a diplomatic crisis by itself. Over 100 carats. 3 countries want it back. Number 2, the Koh-i-Noor Diamond. Most coverage of the coronation got one thing wrong. Camilla did not choose to skip the Koh-i-Noor. She could not wear it. India's ruling party publicly warned that using it would bring back painful memories of the colonial past. Pakistan and Afghanistan also maintain historical claims. Buckingham Palace looked at the diplomatic fallout and made the call. The Queen Consort is not touching this diamond, so Camilla wore Queen Mary's crown without it. She conceded publicly. Over 100 carats, the most politically loaded stone in the entire royal collection, currently sitting in the Queen Mother's crown in the Tower of London. The decision to skip it set a precedent. The diplomatic problem has not gone away. When William is crowned, the pressure will be greater, not less. Camilla is the first consort in over a century to wear Queen Mary's crown at a coronation. She is also the last to wear it with the center stone swapped out. William's reclaim is already half done. Camilla did the other half herself. Look at what sat on her head on the way to Westminster. The diadem Elizabeth wore on every coin, every stamp, every banknote. Number 3, the George IV Diadem, made in 1820 for George IV himself. 1,333 diamonds, worn by every British queen since Victoria. For 70 years of Elizabeth's reign, this diadem was the image of the British monarchy. If you have ever held a British pound coin, you have seen it. Diana never wore it. She was never permitted to. Consorts do not wear the diadem until their husband is king, and Charles was still Prince of Wales when Diana died. Camilla wore it to her coronation. She has worn it to 2 state openings of Parliament since. That is it. Compare that to Elizabeth, who wore it to every state opening for 70 years. The difference matters. The decision of when a consort wears the George IV diadem rests with the king, not the consort. Charles grants it. Rarely. William will not grant it at all. The diadem that has represented the monarchy on every coin for 2 centuries goes to Catherine. Follow the jewelry down from the head to the throat, a necklace made in 1858. Only 4 queen consorts have ever worn it at a coronation. Number 4, the coronation necklace and earrings, created for Queen Victoria in 1858. 25 large diamonds taken from unused garter badges and a sword hilt, a 22-carat Lahore diamond at the center, matching diamond earrings. The first consort to wear it at a coronation was Queen Alexandra in 1902, then Queen Mary in 1911, then the Queen Mother in 1937, then Camilla in 2023. Every consort before Camilla wore it repeatedly for decades afterward. Elizabeth wore it to state banquets throughout her 70-year reign. Camilla wore it on May 6, 2023. She has not worn it since. Picture every future state banquet Camilla attends between now and Charles's death. Not one of them will feature this necklace. Look at the stones still inside her crown. The largest diamonds ever cut from a single stone. Number 5. The Cullinan diamonds, cut from the largest rough diamond ever found in South Africa in 1905. 3,106 carats in the original stone. Elizabeth II called Cullinan 3 and 4 Granny's chips. She wore them as brooches for decades. They were her personal favorites. Camilla got to wear them once. Set into a crown for 90 minutes. The moment the crown came off her head, those stones became loan property again. 5 items in: Queen Mary's crown, the Koh-i-Noor, the George IV Diadem, the Coronation necklace, now the Cullinan diamonds, all of them photographed on Camilla, all of them already gone or going. Now 1 ring on her finger she had no claim to in the first place. Number 6. The Queen Consort's ring, made for Queen Adelaide in 1831, an octagonal ruby surrounded by 14 diamonds, with 14 more rubies set into the gold band, used at the coronations of Queen Adelaide, Queen Alexandra, Queen Mary, the Queen Mother, and now Camilla. The ring is used exactly once in a consort's lifetime, the day she is crowned. After that, it goes back to the jewel house at the Tower of London, where it sits in a glass case until the next coronation. Camilla held that ring for the length of one ceremony. She will never touch it again. The next queen consort to slip it onto her finger is Catherine. 6 down, each one worn a single time. Each one earmarked for Catherine or scheduled for restoration. But the next 2 jewels are not just crown property. They are Diana's. Number 7. The Cambridge Lover's Knot Tiara, commissioned by Queen Mary from Gerard in 1914, inherited by Elizabeth II when Queen Mary died in 1953. Loaned to Diana in 1981 as a wedding gift from the Queen, Diana wore it as her signature tiara for the next 10 years. Every diplomatic reception, every state visit, every official portrait. When you picture Diana in a tiara, you picture this tiara. After Diana's divorce in 1996, the lover's knot went back into the vault. Camilla had access to it for years. She married Charles in 2005, over 2 decades ago. She has never worn it, not once. In December 2015, the Queen loaned the lover's knot to Catherine for the diplomatic reception. Catherine has now worn it more than a dozen times. Camilla has sat in the same room, watching. Diana's tiara was always going to Catherine. Camilla was never in consideration, and the lover's knot is not the only Diana piece Catherine now wears. The second one is on her left hand, 12 carats, oval sapphire. Number 8, Diana's sapphire engagement ring, February 24, 1981. Charles and Diana announced their engagement from Buckingham Palace. The ring, a 12-carat oval. Ceylon sapphire surrounded by 14 diamonds. From the Gerard catalog, Diana picked it out herself. After Diana died, the ring stayed in the family. October 20th, 2010, Mount Kenya. William put Diana's ring on Catherine's finger. Catherine has worn it every single day since. Think about what that means for Camilla. Charles gave Diana that ring in 1981. Camilla was already in Charles's life when it happened. She saw the photographs. The whole world did. 29 years later, she watched William put the same ring on Catherine's finger. Camilla had no claim, no vote, no mention. William did not just choose Diana's ring, he made a statement. The future of the British monarchy is married to a woman wearing Diana's sapphire. Not Camilla's ring, not anything Camilla ever touched. Diana's. Every official portrait of Catherine for the next 40 years will feature that ring on her left hand. 8 down, 7 to go, 6 coronation pieces already taken back, 2 Diana pieces already given to Catherine. Now we enter the zone nobody else is covering. The pieces Camilla wears right now, today, the ones photographers still catch her in. All of them have a reversion date. Number 9, the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. A wedding gift to Queen Mary in 1893, funded by a subscription led by Lady Eva Greville. Queen Mary wore it for decades, then passed it to her granddaughter, Princess Elizabeth, in 1947. Elizabeth wore it more than any other piece in her collection. It is the tiara on her face on British banknotes, on coins across the Commonwealth. In her first official portraits, Diana never wore it, not once. Camilla first wore it at Mansion House on October 18, 2023. She wore it again 2 months later at the diplomatic reception. That is twice, in 2 years. The tiara is personal crown property. Charles inherited it the day Elizabeth died. When Charles dies, it passes to William. Catherine gets the tiara Diana never touched. Camilla gets nothing. Camilla's favorite state banquet necklace is on the same timer. 5 strands of diamonds, the Queen Mother's favorite. Number 10, the Greville festoon necklace. 5 strands of diamonds cascading from throat to collarbone, designed by Cartier. Part of Dame Margaret Greville's 1942 bequest. The Queen Mother wore it frequently, including at the 1950 Dutch state visit. Elizabeth loaned it to Camilla after the Queen Mother died in 2002. Camilla wears this one to state banquets, at diplomatic receptions. The cameras love it because 5 strands of diamonds catch every angle of light. The Greville bequest was not given to the Queen Consort as a position. It was left to the Queen Mother personally. She passed it to Elizabeth. Elizabeth passed it to Charles, not to Camilla. Camilla wears it by Charles's permission only. When Charles dies, the necklace transfers to William, not to the widow. The pattern already on display tells you what comes next. The lover's knot went to Catherine. The sapphire engagement ring went to Catherine. Diana's pieces, Elizabeth's favorites, all flowing in one direction. The Greville festoon is on the same track. And this brings us to the piece the whole video is built around, the one I teased at the top. Number 11, the Greville Emerald Kokoshnik Tiara. November 18, 2025, Windsor Castle, the diplomatic reception. Camilla walks in wearing a nearly 94-carat cabochon emerald tiara valued at $13 million, made by Boucheron in Paris in 1919. Part of the same Greville bequest. This one is a hammer blow. Before that night, only Princess Eugenie had ever worn the Greville Emerald Kokoshnik in public at her wedding in 2018. Camilla became only the second royal to touch it in over a century. 3 hours of photographs, worldwide headlines. Then the tiara went straight back to the vault. And this is the mechanism the intro was telling you about. When William is king, he does not need a press release to take a piece off the loan list. 1 phone call, 1 unsigned loan form. That is all it takes. The piece just does not come out of the vault for her, ever. Diana never wore this tiara either, not at a single event. She attended hundreds of state occasions, and the Greville Emerald stayed in the vault every time. Camilla got 3 hours. Catherine is next. Leave the jewelry box entirely. Walk into Westminster Abbey, a scepter, a rod, and one piece Camilla refused to even carry at her own coronation. Number 12, the Queen Consort scepter with cross, supplied in 1685 by royal goldsmith Sir Robert Viner for the coronation of Mary of Modena. A gold rod in 3 sections, set with rock crystals, carried by every queen consort since. The scepter represents temporal power, standing beside the king as his equal, not his ornament. Diana never held it. She died in a Paris tunnel in 1997 while Charles was still Prince of Wales. There was no coronation in her future, no scepter, no crowning moment. Camilla walked down the aisle of Westminster Abbey carrying what Diana was denied. The cameras captured every second. Then it went back to the tower. The Queen Consort scepter is used only for coronation, no exceptions. Camilla's single appearance with it is already over, but a future coronation is coming. Catherine's, and every piece of crown regalia used at Catherine's coronation will be the same pieces Camilla used, held by different hands, worn by a queen, not a consort. Now the piece Camilla would not even carry. Every queen consort since 1685 has carried it. Camilla said no. Number 13. The queen consort's ivory rod with dove, the symbol of mercy, the symbol of equity. Carried by Mary of Modena, Queen Caroline, Queen Alexandra, Queen Mary, the Queen Mother. Every queen consort at every coronation for over 300 years. Camilla broke the tradition. She did not carry the ivory rod with dove at her coronation. She carried only the scepter. The palace said the decision was about ceremonial simplicity. The rod represents the queen consort's role as a sovereign presence beside the king, a woman entitled to mercy and equity in her own name. Camilla chose not to carry it, the first queen consort since 1685 to refuse it. If she would not carry the rod that represents her authority, how much authority was she actually claiming in the first place? And one last piece Camilla was never going to touch: Spencer family property, already reclaimed, already reserved. Number 14, the Spencer tiara, not a crown jewel, Spencer family property, a piece remounted by Gerard in the 1930s for Cynthia Spencer, Diana's grandmother, worn by Diana on her wedding day in 1981. Seen by over 750 million people around the world that morning. The Spencer tiara never belonged to the royal family. It was Diana's on loan from her father, the 8th Earl Spencer, for the wedding. After Diana's divorce, the tiara stayed at Althorp House. Today it is in the custody of Diana's brother, the 9th Earl Charles Spencer. Camilla never wore it. She never could. The tiara will pass to Louis Spencer, the current Viscount Althorp, when his father dies. That is Diana's nephew, not a Windsor, not Camilla. One Spencer bride has worn it since Diana, her niece Celia McCorquodale, in 2018. It stays a Spencer piece, and every time it appears in public, it reminds the world what Camilla never had access to. 14 down, 1 left, and this one is not jewelry. It is constitutional, it is documented, and no monarch in British history can override it. Number 15. The constitutional principle that seals every one. When Charles dies, William becomes king, Catherine becomes queen, and Camilla becomes what British constitutional tradition calls the Queen Dowager. She cannot be styled Queen Mother. That title belongs to the biological mother of the reigning monarch. Camilla is not William's mother. No palace announcement can change that. Her role, her residence, her ceremonial appearances, all at William's discretion. William holds every card in that deck. He has the constitutional right, the historical precedent, the personal motivation. And 29 years of waiting. He was 15 when his mother died, a boy walking behind Diana's coffin through the streets of London. He watched Camilla become Charles's wife. He watched her become queen. He has been building this list ever since. Every jewel is crown property. Every loan is revocable. When the succession happens, it will not be a scandal. It will not even make front pages. The jewels will quietly return. The loans will quietly expire. The dowager will quietly fade into the background. Camilla's jewelry box will be photographed empty. Every photograph of her wearing crown jewelry between now and then is a countdown. 15 jewels, 4 tiers, 1 outcome. Those were the 15 royal jewels William will never let Camilla wear again. Everyone borrowed, everyone marked. But the list in William's office does not stop at jewels. Click here for 20 things. Camilla will lose when King Charles dies, and see exactly what William has been waiting 29 years to reclaim.